Hi, this is Kpop Notes and welcome back to my channel. March was such a busy month full of comebacks which offered pretty interesting approaches. Following the 2000s trend, some artists stepped outside the R&B line, and brought some proposals that included other genres such as hip-hop, disco and electropop. And while these groups managed to successfully develop and bring something new, lots of other groups who are trying to keep on with the trends didn't manage to do it correctly, so it was a month with lots of hits or miss. But overall, let's keep with the good parts which were outstanding, so without further ado, let's get to the video. I was actually gonna make a whole review of the album, cause oh my god, it deserves a whole 5 hours video of why this album cured my depression. Unfortunately for time issues I wasn't able to do it. However, so that this doesn't become this 5 hours video, I'm gonna try and summarize the best my thoughts for this song. After the amazing songs they released as soloists in which each one of them were able to show their own colors, the expectations to the comeback as a group were low-key high, and the result was the most NCT song OnlyOneOf could have done in the best way possible. This just feels as a mixture between their older sound and the most recent one. It brings out the epicness and power of songs as Sage but the industrial landscape presented during Libido and Skins, creating of this song, a roller coaster full of dynamics that change constantly from shanty rap sections to melodic lines filled with harmonies, creating in this way, a perfect balance that attaches you to the song. Just as the car exhaust sound synthesizer that races forward during the song, this one stays true to the title of it by creating a steady beat. The song really never stops, even during the bridge where everything is supposed to slow down. It is filled by a powerful dance break that keeps the pace of the track going forward, just as the engine of a car during a night drift that doesn't stop. If we want to talk about the meaning of the song, you should really go and read the description of the MV. The loneliness and wandering aren't painted with silent darkness. Rather, they are sped up to the verge of hallucination and to their very limit. They are raced to the extent that they can no longer keep up and get exhausted. If I keep talking, this review might become just half of the video, but yes, OnlyOneOf aren't just here making music for commercial purposes, they're actually trying to convey a message that makes visible to minorities that have been ignored by society, so because of that, they're raising the voice for the ones who can't. Incredible song, beautiful MV, significant lyrics. This song may not be for everybody, but I encourage you to give it a chance and understand the meaning it holds. 1 million out of 10. My god, this song is so good. Not gonna lie, I was actually a fan of their older experimental sound with really minimalistic and metallic instrumentals, and despite enjoying their newer title tracks after the concept shift they had during Adrenaline, which assured their reputation, they were just a little bit simple for me. There wasn't anything extremely outstanding to remark. But this, I honestly cannot describe my obsession with this song, therefore sounds more mature, the melody is more unique or the approach is different. I honestly don't have a clear answer, but what I can say is that it somehow feels nostalgic. The chord progressions, especially during the chorus, plus the sparkly synths and the hook melody, create this familiar and sentimental feeling that I could almost pinpoint makes reference to the electro pop during the early 2000s. The song fulfills what promised in its title, a track full of groove. From the very beginning to the end of it, it just makes you want to keep on dancing because of its easygoing property and the catchy hook filled of an airy melody and a memorable point dance. Musically speaking, loved the way they jumped into this early century trend by exploring a different approach, bringing a disco and retro pop inspired song. Probably already one of my favorite songs from the year. 10 out of 10. If We Talk Twice was already maturing their sound, this song definitely shows the growth. Remember guys, maturing doesn't mean jumping into the badass concept, and Twice have known how to consolidate their sound by sticking to a retro sound, strongly influenced by disco, pretty notable during their last studio album. Set Me Free is a disco-funk track which exudes confidence by the hand of the strong disco synths and the pronounced strings that emphasize the top melody, creating this sense of drama throughout the track. A similar effect to the soundtracks of spy movies, where it is searched to convey power and action by still having that hint of classiness and elegance. Talking about the MV, JYP, I thought we had already learnt the lesson of no more CGI, need a green screen, like, the first half of the MV was going smoothly, but to be honest, I'm not a fan of the space cosmic background, it just makes the film lose unity. I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of the MV, not just because of the CGI, but also because there are some scenes that seem to be poorly shot or uncreative. I think they tried to express this sense of freedom in different perspectives that should have been nice parroted, cause together create a sense of incoherence. They've had way better MVs. The song is extremely catchy as the hook is easy to remember, and despite not being Twice's best track, I'm excited to see the new approach they're going for, as all the experience they've reunited along the years finally give them the opportunity to show new and hidden charms they haven't been able to demonstrate. 9.5 out of 10.
Stop. 이름은 버려 Mr. Rover, Rover, Rover. I'm coming over, 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 coming.
No guys, Kai nor SM stole the song from Dara. It was her who sold the track to SM. So yeah, it's actually a remake. There's no necessity to compare both versions, honestly each one of them have their uniqueness to it, but something I have to remark is that production-wise, the Korean contribution managed to enhance the good qualities of the composition so that it just feels more intricate and impactful than the original one. Described as a dancehall song, it definitely incorporates some reggaeton elements such as the distinctive heavy bass that make of this a total banger, plus the subtle percussion of what seems to come from a marimba, that ends up setting the mood of a tropical scenario. I actually really liked the way they expressed the concept. Rover is defined as a person who spends their time traveling from place to place. That's why not just in the MV we can see Kai having multiple identities, but also the lyrics express it by saying, I'm throwing away my name, expressing the necessity of freeing from what others' viewpoint about you, and just wandering freely without prejudice. I think the concept was smart. Overall an addicting song that, despite being a remake, still manages to deliver something fresh and new to Kai's discography. 9.5 out of 10. Let's take a short break and review some releases in Speedrun.
만남 이별 모두 다른 적 없는 시간이 stay that way so curious 불감을 드러내줘 말해봐 hesitate 내 운명을 정해줘 난 오직 네 뮤직에 You're like a fairy tale and I will dream 지독한 어둠 속에 갇힌 채 Waiting for you and I'm drowning in your love Drowning 머리 속에 I love 떨리고 있어 Ring Dystopia I'm on my mind That's dystopia Dystopia I'm on like you like
Now let's get back to the video.
It's so easy, you just gotta love me like this, love me like that, love me like this, love me like that, love me.
I didn't think I would ever make a review to one of their songs, and then here I am about to praise them. With Young Dumb Stupid serving as a pre-release, I was already afraid of the comeback itself. The fact they used this child rhyme, more than making it memorable, made it annoying, but true was that different to their previous tracks, at least it presented some sort of stability, no sudden beat changes, just a constant melody. However, a week after, Love Me Like This was released, presented as an up-tempo R&B pop track, in which definitely I can sense more of a hip-hop influence. The percussion and the minimalistic background along with the constant harmonies is what definitely ends up selling the track as a 2000s hip-hop track, a sound that can be found in several musical pieces from artists like Sierra or Rihanna in songs like Goodies or That La 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 respectively, which use a distinctive percussion with simple panoramas that get filled by the harmonies used. From what I've seen, some people point out this just doesn't sound like NMIXX because of the lack of beat changes or really experimental structures. However, I don't share that idea. not gonna lie, the fact that the song kept consistency made me like it at first listen, but what really makes me appreciate the track as unique and still part of the group's sound, is the production of it, as they kept true to the elements from what the actual music from those days sounded like. Many songs tend to be influentiated by other genres and other musical periods but still be overwhelmed by the K-pop production, however this time, as I already said, felt as something extracted from those days but better. Not forgetting to mention that the actual 2000s trend has leaned more towards the R&B, leaving aside hip-hop and reggae. This release just shows how NMIXX can mature their sound while still keeping their essence. The EP goes in the same direction, having a good use of delightful harmonies that finally showcase their incredibly vocal abilities. So having said that, I'm excited of what the future aheads for them. 9 out of 10. So is IVE's Kitsh actually Kitsh? I fear not, but okay. My first thoughts about the song were definitely not good. I just felt underwhelmed on how uncreative it was. The verses sounded extremely Western to me, something really laid back with just a few things going on at the back, making it kind of boring. The sudden change of energy when the chorus dropped also threw me off. Definitely this is made in order to emphasize IVE's attitude, in which they can be bright and cheerful but they can also make bolder statements when they're restrained by others' opinions, not letting ruin their styles. I think the concept was badly understood, and I don't blame them at all, cause Kitsh is actually pretty subjective, but rather than trying to understand, they just made the girls look pretty with teenagers' outfits that weren't absolutely and in any sense Kitsh, but however, they looked nice. So yeah, aside everything I said, it actually grew on me. The repetitive chorus stuck in my head and I got used to the change at the chorus. For now it aged better than I thought and it got me excited to what the title track of their next album will sound like. 8 out of 10. After Ribbon, I kinda lost track into his music as I realized it was strongly trap hip-hop based, so not really my cup of tea. However, this was actually a tremendous surprise. I love the light feeling it has, which is thanks to the mid-tempo of the song and a sort of subtle synth-pop influence, without fully losing his trap essence incorporated in the way the verses are built, with a determined phrasing, certain ad-libs and a filter used in his voice that pretty much resembles to some other songs from the same genre, like Stay by the Kid Laroi, catalogued as pop trap and synth pop. I also really like the message and how it is portrayed in the MV. The lyrics allude to a sense of equilibrium. Anything is black or white, good or bad, correct or incorrect, sour or sweet. As human beings, we are a spectrum in which both sides coexist to be who we are, so that's why, in the MV BamBam is searching for a criminal without realizing that the person is him itself, demonstrating that the good and the evil are found inside each one of us, being more things than the ones we apparent. A really delightful track that goes perfect with the warm temperature and clear skies of March. 8.5 out of 10. They learned, paid attention, understood the assignment and redeemed themselves from Ring Ma Bell. I've seen several comments online talking about how they jumped into this groovy trend and took distance from their actual experimental sound. However, if you've been following closely, you might realize that this is part of the sound that they've been developing in their B-sides, which is actually pretty consistent in them. The fortress of the song is the grooviness of it as well as the harmonies, which make the whole composition sound dreamy, contributing to the meaning of the title of the song, EUNOIA, a pure and well-balanced mind, a good spirit. This song just sits right into my alley. It has a decent duration, different sections that keep the song interesting, a strong bass line, beautiful harmonies, and dreamy synths. Definitely it isn't nothing new, that's why I don't have much to say, but still wanted to do some recognition of the track as the production of it is totally on point and you should give it a try. 8.3 out of 10. Time for some B-sides highlights. So that was it for the video. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite release of the month. As always, I'll be happy to read you. Bye.
Wow.